Hi, it's mail call time. This is a special edition mail call. This is an all M&S intercom mail call. If any of you have been following some of my videos, you know that we're moving forward with working the repairs of music and sound intercoms into our normal repair process around here. To do that effectively and efficiently, you need a lot of stuff. So I've been on the hunt for M&S equipment. M&S is music and sound. And recently I ran across a fella who's in Lincoln, Nebraska, who has been a music and sound dealer and service, not a service center because they don't have service centers, mostly a dealer, an installing dealer. How about that? He's getting ready to retire. He's downsizing and he has a lot of stuff. And we sort of hit it off when we talked to each other. He was able to fulfill a lot of the missing bits and pieces that I need for what we're trying to do here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what Pat sent me. There's 2 boxes from him and 1 box of something else. So in this box, this weighs about 40 pounds. It's full primarily of music and sound low voltage transformers. Music and sound has made a wide variety of transformers over the years, and each model seems to have its own unique transformer. For the most part, there's some that are more common than others. He was able to come up with the majority of the transformers that I'm looking for. Some of these have numbers, some of these don't. I have to do a little bit of research and label all of these. There's one. These are all quite heavy. In fact, let's take a quick look at it. Take it out. It's a big whopping transformer. You can see by the length of my finger how wide it is. I would say that this is easily, see if there's a voltage on this. No, it doesn't say. It's got a fuse here. This is back in the day where music and sound used to put fuse holders on the transformer plate, so if you blew a fuse you could just pop it out and put a new one in. That's before the days of what they did later, which is build it into the windings, which is a total pain in the neck. This is easily got to be a 80 or 90 watt transformer would be my guess. Don't know what the voltage is exactly, but it's a big old beast. There's one, and I guess we'll just go from the top down. This happens to be an amplifier. This is from a music and sound model MC902, and this is the primary power supply and amplifier for this. It's a stereo music intercom system, so this is a stereo amplifier, and it's got some notes on the back. Tested okay, June 25th of 08. It says American Electronics. Don't know what that's all about. Anyway, it's a good thing to have. What tends to go wrong with these, I have fixed a couple of these so far, is these primary capacitors here tend to fail because of age. The most recent one I did, it blew some other parts off the board because one of the caps, I think, shorted out. So we have an amplifier. We also have a terminal board for an MC902, an invaluable thing to have. We have a little bit of genuine music and sound 4-conductor flat cable for intercom. I asked Pat to send me some cable if he had it, because I need to make some mock-ups. Here we have a terminal board. This is for an N400 or an N4, I think it's an N440. Terminal board that the master station plugs into, another invaluable piece to have. The purpose of all of this is, like the terminal boards, you can set this up, you can wire up remote speakers onto it, and the master station plugs in. So when you repair someone's unit, you just take the tub off the shelf that has this set up in it, you plug the master station into it really quick, you've got remote speakers already wired up, and you can easily test things to make sure they work right. Same thing with the terminal board for the 902. And in the bottom of the box, we got more transformers. So this is a littler one. Again, no model number on it exactly. It does say it is a 24 volt, I think it's a center tap transformer. It's much smaller. It's probably about a 30 watt transformer. A lot of the differences of these have to do, a lot of the sets use the same voltage and wattage transformers, but the connectors that the master station plugs into. They will change over time. So that's one thing. And then we have this one. This is a TE5D. This is a fairly modern one. This is like from an MC602 and a DMC 3, 4, and 1. Those are fairly common still nowadays. Here's a TE5, which is a slightly different version of this one. And here we have, this is a TE1. This is from 1996. I think this is for like an MC 350, something like that. And here's another, it's a TE2A. This is from 1993. And so see, this is how they do things. That's a TE1. This is a TE2A. And it's code dated 93. About the same size. Same sort of connector, kind of. If you look carefully, what you'll see is you'd think they would be the same, but they're not. So, for instance, this one, it's yellow, yellow with a red stripe, and yellow. And this one is yellow, yellow, yellow with a red stripe. So it's a different order. And those small things make a difference. And this is a TE1. And this is from 1992. And again, it's got yellow, yellow with a red stripe and yellow, different kind of plug on it. So they did like to change and update their transformers apparently. And here we have a TE2C. So we had a TE1 and 2A, and this is a 2C. And again, same 3 color of wires with a flat connector. That it changes. It keeps it exciting. And this is a beast. This one I'm familiar with because I used one recently. It's kind of caught up in here. Let's see if we can get this open for you. This is like, I think, the mother of all music and sound transformers. This is a TE9D. Jeez. It's really, really stuck in there. And for those of you who may be listening really carefully, close your eyes and listen. If you can hear that, what you're listening to is the monthly test in our local area of the tornado siren. On the first Wednesday of every month at 12 o'clock noon exactly, they light the thing off and it spins around on a super high pole. It's about 200 feet high, I think. If there's a tornado coming, which doesn't happen that often, but it does happen out here sometime here in Tennessee. That way everybody knows what to listen for and all those sort of things. Anyway, this is a TE9D, and this is for an MC902, which is a stereo music intercom system. The one the amplifier is for it down here. We're not going to stop because of the siren. This has 2 low voltage transformers mounted on one plate. I believe, if I remember correctly, these are 18 volts and they're 75 watts a piece. So it's 150 watts of transformer, and I can tell you this weighs easily like 8 or 9 pounds. Oh, and if there is actually a tornado right now and it's not the monthly test, or it happens while they're doing a monthly test, if I get blown away, call somebody and let them know. Here's another one. This is an early one. This would be I think a late 70s transformer. There's no number on it. but it's got this bluish, grayish, greenish color bracket on it, and that's from the earlier Music and Sounds. And it looks like it's a 3-wire output, so it's probably a center tap transformer. No voltage on it, but we can figure that out. Hate styrofoam stuff. And here's a TR35. This is for an N350 and I think an N440. Those are mid-80s models. And this one is a 24-volt center tap 40 VA transformer. So we have that one. And that takes care of that box. And then we have the next box. And we got more goodies in this one. So this one, we'll put that aside for a second. Here we have, this is an MC902 master station. This is a stereo intercom master station. It goes with the amplifier down here. And this one happens to be missing a tuner module. However, the tuner modules on the MC models, the MC300, MC350, MC602, MC702, all of those, they all use the same tuner modules. So for instance, here's one for an MC602, and this simply pops onto the brackets right here, and you can make a complete set. So that's a good thing to have. We'll put this over here out of the way. And then we have a bunch of Music and Sound chime modules. So this is a 3-note chime module. This is also a 3-note chime module. And these are the early style ones. These are from the mid-80s and early 90s with all discrete components. And then we also have two 8-note chimes. These are later style ones. This one's probably from 1990. That's what the code date looks like here. This one on the board looks like it's from 1989. And I believe this is a more streamlined design where this is actually some sort of microprocessor or a microcontroller that can change all the tunes and things in it, and a little operating system that makes it work. So we have that. Then, throw that down there. We got a whole raft of terminal boards. So this terminal board is for a, I believe this one is for a 440 or a 443, which is a 6-wire system. And this one, I believe, is for an N440, no, an MC, this is for an MC500. And this one is for an MC800, and the difference is an MC500 is a mono system and the MC800 is the stereo version of it. So on this board, all of these locations here and here are unpopulated because those are connections for stereo systems. And on this one, it's all fully populated because it's a stereo board. So we have that. This is for an N80, which is a late 80s, early 90s stereo system. And as comparison, same idea here. On this one, these are unpopulated because it's for a mono system. And on this one, they're populated because they're for a stereo system. One of the things I like about this is you can look at the screws, and the heads of the screws are color-coded. Those are violet, the bottom ones are green, that one's orange, that one's red. Oh, that's door speaker, red and black. We have blue, yellow. And I imagine that when this was made, somebody, as it went down the assembly line, had colored Sharpie pens and they had to color all the screws. That's very old school. So we have all of that. And then we also have with the MC902 Master Station, this is an inside remote station for the 902 system. That's a valuable thing to have because, again, we can build a test setup. We can take this and the amplifier and the terminal board and the master station and create a test setup for when we work on people's systems. Here's our last box. This did not come from Pat. This came from another fella actually in Texas, former home of music and sound. And what we have in here is a whole bunch of stuff. Wow. All right. Let's see if we can. Oh, I see. All right. Get the knife, cut the tape, unwrap the chime module, cut more tape. All right. So this is a music and sound, wires and all. Put that there. Alright, this is a music and sound model N300, which is like an N350 with less features. It has, I think, 2 less remote switches. It doesn't have all of the fancy control buttons over here that an N350 has. And this came from a fella in Texas who, it's been out of commission for a while because I guess he says it doesn't work. I guess we'll find out. There's a chime module attached to it. Anyway, he said he got tired of looking at it in his hallway, so he decided that he would take it out and get rid of it. Fortunately, I was able to get it. Looks like we've got the transformer that goes with it. Jeez. It's all bent to hell, isn't it? Anyway, it doesn't matter, it's just the transformer. This one is probably a lot like, which one? This one. I think these are kind of the same. They look like they're the same. And I got a couple of them. I know the transformers that I bought, some I already have, and the ones I didn't have, if Pat had them, I bought 2 of each. Because having extra transformers is always a good thing. We've got a 3-note chime module here. That wants to fall down. There we go. And along with it, we got some remote speakers. Jeez. There we go. So, and it's kind of nice for me because he left the wire on the end of it and I can use that for some mock-ups and things that I need to do. But these are, I think, N35 speakers. These are the inside remote stations that go with the N300 and also an N350. These are all 4-wire systems, so pretty easy to deal with. And again, you take this, hook it up to this, you got the chime module, you got a transformer, you can create a test setup so when systems come in to work on, you have something to plug them into. So that's good. So kind of a treasure trove of music and sound equipment, master stations, remote stations, chime module, terminal boards, bunch of low voltage transformers, a separate amplifier, all the things that you need to build a music and sound repair test bench so you can work on things rapidly and efficiently and get them done for people who need to have things fixed. I think what I'm going to do with some of these are, like these kind of transformers, they're necessary, but in this form, they're kind of a pain in the neck to deal with because you got this big bracket thing and it's kind of, and it needs to be put onto a cord for power and all those sort of things. So I think what I'm going to do with some of these are probably take the transformer and the socket out of the bracket, get little job boxes, put it all in there, put a cord on it with a strain relief, make a hole for the socket to fit into and label as to what it is and make this nice little neat compact usable transformer that we can use when we work on people's systems. And there you have it, a whole bunch of music and sound stuff and now a whole bunch of stuff I have to do because it takes a while to put all of this together and do it in a way that makes it easy to deal with when you need it. I hope you found this interesting and perhaps for someone it will be helpful. If it is, give it a thumbs up on YouTube because that helps us just a little bit. There'll be a banner right here. Go to our YouTube homepage, click on the bell, and when you click on the bell, click on it to receive all notifications, and every time we post a new video, you'll get a notification and you can watch it. That's all for today. See you on the next video.